I'm gonna play some music. Got it. All right, y'all, we're back. This is the HBCU Daily Grind. Resources beyond the yard. Yep. As always, want to give Mike Ballard a shout out for this nice beat. I don't want it to stop. That's right. It's like we're at homecoming, right? All right. We wanted to stop it though, because I need to get back. All right. So I had to get that stop. As you know, we are here every Monday, and we are here with a special guest. Before we get to our special guest, I got to give out some information. So don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook. What else are we on? LinkedIn, Twitter, at HBCU by Association. Our website is the same, hbcubyassociation.com. If you want to be a guest, so if you want to refer somebody to be a guest on the HBCU Daily Grind, and for those who are not familiar with the HBCU Daily Grind, we interviewed alum. I was about to say MSU alum, but we're all alum, all alum, not just MSU. So we interview all alum from HBCUs, though. And that's real clear that are entrepreneurs. So if you want to be a guest, just shoot me an email at what is my email? info@HBCU by Association. Let me do that again. info@HBCUbyassociation.com. I do so many podcasts. Sometimes I can't remember which podcast I'm on, but nonetheless, we are on the HBCU Daily Grind. And today we have a special guest, and we have Lyndsae Peele. And I'm not going to tell you what university. You're going to give a shout out to your university and give a shout out to what was your major at your university.
Yes, well, good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is such a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much, Omar, for the invitation. My name is Lyndsae Peele, and I am representing the illustrious Howard University. I received my bachelor's of arts in broadcast journalism back in 2016.
I hear you. So as you probably know, I'm not a journalist. My major was accounting. I was forced into this. But it's
so I guess it's the opposite for me, right? Because I had dreams of being a news anchor or radio show host, and I bumped into business and finance. So here we are.
Here we are. It's all good. So we kicked the show off with this. So I believe that there are 4 quadrants to HBCUs. And I just want to hear your thoughts about these as well. So if one resonates, if all of them resonate, just give me some feedback on that. It just happens to spell out HBCU, by the way. So the H is for homecoming. The B is for Black excellence. The C is for clubs and organizations. And the U is for a united place, united front on campus. So which?
Oh, absolutely. All of them. If you went to a HBCU, then absolutely all of them. I also, marched in the Showtime marching band. So being a part of homecoming was always major, right? Everybody is familiar with Howard University's homecoming. So all of it, Black excellence. Look at us, look at the alum. Let's just think about it, right? When we really look at the list, do we really need to think about it? Clubs, organizations. I'm a member of Tau Beta Sigma National Honorary Band Sorority. So not only did I love the band and marching in the band, but I also served the bands on campus and the band students. So listen, all of it, United Front. U is for United Front, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Listen, that's how we show up.
Well, United Place. So United
Place.
So what's that one place on campus that, man, you were there not all the time. Now, in between classes.
Definitely the yard, of course.
Okay.
Definitely the yard. On the hilltop, as we call it.
The hilltop. All right. Well, good deal. So you talked about your major was broadcast journalism. You're an entrepreneur. I mean, not that broadcast journalism majors can be entrepreneurs, but what led you to this journey of entrepreneurship?
So how much time do I have to answer this question? How about that?
You got enough time?
So
got a lot of time.
my story is very interesting. So during my time at Howard, my major was broadcast journalism, but my minor was community development. So I was already very community centric, social action centric. However, I still had a need and a desire to speak, to facilitate, to be in the communication space. I had been speaking since I was a little girl. When I was in 8th grade, I was reading the morning announcements for the school. So it was always something that I absolutely loved to do, was to be in front of a room, right? Or behind a mic, and to make people feel good. Mm-hmm. And I was looking for an internship at the end of my junior year. And I ran into a part-time job position, actually, as a part-time teller at a major financial institution. And I was weighing my odds. I said, it's hard to break into the media industry. I didn't have a lot of internship experience at that time. I was really looking for the internship to give me that. And long story short, I said, I'm going to take this part-time job. I interviewed. They immediately sent me to the branch down the street from campus to go through the second phase of the interview. And the managers loved me, 2 amazing Black women. And they gave me a chance. So I became a part-time teller. I loved it because it was still very customer service centric. So I still got to speak with people on a regular basis. And I had the middle window in the Wells Fargo right down the street on, from Howard's campus. So I saw a lot of people. I got a lot of opportunities to really speak. And then I started teaching financial literacy and just having the opportunity to still facilitate and to really serve a mass market. So long story short, that's kind of how I got into the financial services industry. And I transitioned over into entrepreneurship back in October of 2020 after actually losing my job through a large merger, branch closures. I was one of those managers who was displaced. So, but still walking in faith and understanding that I had a bigger purpose ahead. God just downloaded what he needed me to do, the business name, who I'd serve, what it would be called, what we'd focus on. And here we are 18 months later.
Well, congratulations on your journey. And, sometimes, entrepreneurs, they find a way when that big corporation or agency say, you know what, we no longer need you because of this, but now you're here and that's what we're going to focus on. So tell us about the name of your company and, what do you do in your company?
Absolutely.
And you got your website, so people go to the website right now.
Yes, so right now you can go to www.kingdomvisionconsult.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn at Kingdom Vision Consult. You can personally follow me on Instagram at Peele, the real deal. So I am the CEO of Kingdom Vision Enterprises, LLC, and we are a financial services firm with 2 financial subsidiaries, one being the Real Deal radio show, where we provide resources, empathy, accountability, and literacy to improve the overall wealth journey for the Black entrepreneur. We meet you at the intersection of faith, family, and finances, and you can find us every Thursday morning at 9 a.m. on iHeartRadio by searching WDRB Media, or you can go to WDRBmedia.com on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. And we also have a consulting firm, Kingdom Vision Consulting. We focus on CEO financial planning specifically for Black and Brown entrepreneurs. And we encourage and really motivate them to create financial strategies that will ultimately lead to generational wealth. And we focus on 5 key areas of finance known as class, creditworthiness, long-term wealth, asset protection, strategic banking relationships, and strategic asset accumulation.
I like that. You're going to give that class once more.
Creditworthiness.
Credit, yep. Mm-hmm.
Long-term wealth.
There you go.
Asset protection, strategic banking relationships, and strategic asset accumulation. Now, this is a great opportunity for me to brag on myself. Normally, if you know me, I'm very, very humble. But we were actually just awarded the SBA of Baltimore District Offices Financial Services Champion Award for 2022. So I'm super.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. If I had the thing here, I would make it clap, but I don't have the keyboard here. Congratulations. I mean, that's good to hear. And I just saw an email from the SBA announcing, but talking about the event that's going to be in June. I need to pull an email. I need to look at it now.
Yes,
congratulations.
You should be there. Thank you.
Yes, to support you. Absolutely. So talking about financial literacy, financial education, I know you're focusing on the big boys and girls, the CEOs. However, the entrepreneurs definitely need to hear, some of this class. They definitely need to hear that. Oftentimes they just focus on, when they talk about finances, they think about taxes and getting a bank loan. But you're talking about so much more. So are you working with mom and pop operations, or will you be working with mom and pop operations?
Absolutely. So when I say CEO financial planner, right, don't think that means just the millionaires, right? I remember being in the bank, and the financial advisors used to tell us that us inside of the bank, we create the millionaires and they manage the millionaires at that point. I'm on that level where I am creating the millionaires. So CEO financial planning, it really allows us to focus on the entrepreneur, but both on their personal finances and business finances, understanding the importance of managing your personal credit so that you can then utilize that to access business credit, right? To expand your portfolio of real estate, or to expand, your current business operations, making sure that you understand the importance of long-term wealth. Are you thinking about retirement, right? But then also, once you're able to take care of yourself and your family, are you able to teach your employees about retirement? So CEO financial planning, it's really coming from the positioning, right? So we work on that personal and that business for entrepreneurs who look like us. If you've heard my story, I get my motivation and my passion from my parents. My father's a plumber and my mom has been running the business for over 20 years. So I grew up on the back of a small business. I am literally a walking testimony of what it looks like to invest in yourself, invest in your business, to take that chance. My parents had me at the age of 42. They started their business after the age of 45, and still to this day, 70 plus years old, still creating our family legacy. And you're looking at what an example of that looks like, what it manifests into.
Absolutely. I love that. Oftentimes when I hear entrepreneurs talking about, I need money, I need access to capital. You mentioned something, and I know what business credit is, but I want to hear your definition of what business credit is and how entrepreneurs can really get access to business credit versus using their social.
I mean, the biggest way to look at business credit is OPM, right? Other people's money. How can you utilize the bank's money, investors' money, or whatever, right? To create something that you have deemed a solution to a problem, right? Entrepreneurs, we create solutions to problems. And most of us kind of bootstrap, we do it ourselves through our savings, retirement funds, through our own personal credit. But being able to activate business credit from traditional financial institutions, but also, alternative lenders, right? You have CDFIs, community development financial institutions, that also invest in the small business scene, especially when you don't necessarily have pristine credit to access traditional lending, right? So business credit is the access to using other people's money to build and grow your own enterprise.
I like that. And, oftentimes, people, they don't want to use their social sometimes. I always tell them, everybody got our social. I shouldn't say that, but everybody has our social. Everybody has our social. So let's transition to, some of the challenges that you see working with these CEO entrepreneurs, if you will. What are some of the financial challenges that you see?
So a couple of them, right? One specifically is their mindset. We have historically,
Did you
as
say they
people of color,
mindset? Yes.
yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Us
Absolutely.
as people of color, we have always kind of historically struggled with our finances, right? When you think about our parents, our grandparents, the communities, that we come from, and it's not anybody's fault, right? It's the system was designed for this, right? We're not being taught this information in school, right? They teach us how to be employees, how to make, the big bosses happy, and, to be okay with our salaries, right? We weren't taught to invest our money and to consider the long term and to invest in real estate, because one thing about land is that you can't recreate that, right?
Absolutely.
And like we were not taught these things. So when you can just think about the lack of resources, the lack of investment, really, it's the lack of investment. Our mindset isn't there. So we're struggling right now to unlearn so that we can kind of heal, right? So that we can break some generational curses to be able to relearn this thing, to understand the value of money, to understand financial literacy and how to make strategic financial decisions. But you can't get to that point until you first work on your mindset. And in that, you have to address some things. We don't want to address financial trauma, right? We're not ready to have those tough conversations, right? But it's necessary.
Wow.
That's one issue. That's one issue, right? But
That's a
then
big issue.
that's the biggest issue. That is the root of it all, right? But then another thing I think that we struggle with is being ashamed, right? To ask for support, being ashamed to ask for help. We try to do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And I tell people, you cannot DIY your finances. Like you should not, because you ultimately cap yourself at what you know. And if this is all you know, then you can't do anything. Right. So you have to be able to source out those financial partners, right? I tell entrepreneurs, you have to have a financial dream team. So a part of what my company does is we bridge the gap between entrepreneurs and the financial partners that they need. So you come to us and you need an accountant, you need an attorney or financial advisor. We try to pair you with vetted professionals in the industry who can help you, because if you don't have the support of industry experts, you're going to end up digging yourself into a hole. Then you're going to have to be reactive versus proactive, right? So the list goes on, the list goes on.
Yeah, I mean, I like that team approach, but even that mindset. When I'm working for entrepreneurs, I start there as well. I'm not a social worker, I'm not a psychologist, but that mindset really has to be tight in order for you to really move forward. And I love that you're talking about mindset in the beginning before you even start dealing with the financial situation.
Definitely, because finances are directly attached to our mental health. And it's May, it's National Mental Health Awareness Month, so shout out to that. But there is a direct correlation. And until we start addressing that, we're not going to really see the Black dollar change.
Oh, man. So one of my friends, you probably, Murphy Pascal, the Black Paper. He has Black Paper Streetwear. So yeah, he talks about that too. Changing the way we spend our Black dollar. All right. So I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I said we absolutely have to, right? And it's going to take a community approach. I can't just do it. You can't just do it. The entrepreneurs that we support can't just do it. It has to be them and their families, them and their communities. And really from a space of, we want this for all of us. We have to have that type of mindset for the communities that we live in.
I like that. I like that approach, working with the families. So when you talk about financial literacy, what type of activities or events that you may have that involves the family approach?
So one, just thinking to this past weekend, which I want to, shout out to Brick Roads Exchange for being such an awesome host. Outside of my own company, I'm also the director of community engagement for O'Hara Development Partners. And we are a community development real estate firm where we are transforming, DK properties into beautiful homes. So we are also up on boots on the ground, right? Literally transforming our communities physically. But our CDC, right, focuses on home ownership, green space development, and financial wellness. And every month we're hosting financial wellness seminars in partnership with Chase. But this past Saturday, accompanied with our housing partners, NHS Baltimore, we just hosted our annual housing summit, encouraging, current renters to become homeowners, right? So I don't just do what I do in my firm. I do it throughout the community, right? I'm also the VP of the Greater Baltimore Black Chamber of Commerce. So I'm serving Black businesses, right, on a regular basis. So, but a part of my hands being in those things, if you're in my network, if you're a client of mine, you get access to all of it.
I love it. I was one of the founding members of that.
Yes. Yeah. Of the Black Chamber?
Actually, I got my picture right over here. Let me get that picture real quick.
Okay.
So these were the founding members. I didn't know you were part of the chain. You see that?
I am. Yes, sir. I do see that.
You see that? These are the founding members.
Picture.
You see all these people?
This is a really good picture.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you are a part of that. And I'm just loving the vibe. You'll talk about community development, the family. Not only is it entrepreneurship, but it's also that financial piece as well. I love it. I love it. I love it. Hey, give that website again because I want to take you back to Howard University.
Okay.
So give your website out. So as we transition from here and we're going back to Howard University, what's your website?
Absolutely. So our website is Kingdom Vision Consult.com.
All right.
And you can follow us on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.
All right. So under the same thing, Kingdom?
Under the same thing at Kingdom Vision Consult. Yep.
All right. Good deal. Good deal. All right. So let's take you back to Howard University. So how can Howard University foster entrepreneurship?
So one, they kind of already do that, right? Just being at Howard, it really exposes you to both sides of the spectrum, right? So yes, we focus on just being great, enhancing our skill set so that we can be marketable in the workplace. However, just the experiences, the people that we're exposed to, especially being right there in DC, right in the Mecca. Even thinking about the hub, the innovation hub that's right there on Georgia Avenue outside of the campus of Howard University that focuses on entrepreneurship, right? We have a very well-known school of business, right, that not only teaches you how to operate a business, right, a large corporation, but also teaches you how to be the CEO of your own. So that's something that the university kind of naturally does. But what I think that could be just an additional focal point is developing a student organization focused on entrepreneurship. I think that would be super marketable. I think that would be a great way to bring in entrepreneurs to speak, to have entrepreneurs to potentially mentor and to coach future entrepreneurs, and to get students to in a space where they're establishing their entities on campus as a student.
I love that. Develop a student organization. All right, we're going to work with the people at Howard. All right, now how has your HBCU, which is Howard, helped you out in life and in business?
In life, oh God, where do I start? First of all, I Howard was my number one choice school since I was a sophomore in high school. Wow. I come from a very, very disadvantaged community in Eastern North Carolina, one of the poorest counties in the state, Bertie County. But while we had very limited resources, we had some resources that counted, right? So I was a part of this program called Upward Bound at a local university about 45 minutes away from my community. And they took us on a school tour in DC. So we visited a few universities and I fell in love with Howard immediately. the culture, the people. Like, although we're an HBCU, the diversity is unmatched, right? You have, Black people from everywhere, from the continent of Africa, from, all over the Caribbean, from all over the country. And it was a beautiful melting pot of Black excellence. And to see that as a kid, you got to see it to believe it. And growing up where I come from, on back roads, and most people, are, still back at home, working, if they're not in the school system, then they are potentially, at Purdue, or potentially at, the peanut factory, and nothing's wrong with that. But that just speaks to the lack of resources that, we had growing up. So to be a student and to go away to DC, the nation's capital, and to be exposed to that, Howard University became my dream. That literally became my dream. And coming from North Carolina, of course, my parents wanted me to go to, UNC, Chapel Hill, ECU, or other universities that were within, 2 hours away. But Howard was my dream. And I'm glad that my parents gave me an opportunity to pursue that, because it was the best decision that I ever made. I was a student in the marching band. So I marched my first 3 years at Howard, which was a great experience to building community within my bandmates, but also within my section as a percussionist. And then, thinking about my sorority and just being able to truly serve the band, but also just having that heart of service in general. It really fostered that for me. Our mantra being truth and service, that's really what it taught me to abide in. And here I am today, and it's been on and upward ever since.
That's good to hear. Congratulations for you. So is there anything else that you want the listening audience to know about you and your business, or just anything in general about Howard?
Listen, one, keep up with me. I am always on the go right now. I am trying out different cities, doing what I call workcation. So I just touched down in Atlanta last night.
You know what? You trying out different cities?
Yes, doing what I call workation. I did. So I've been doing a little traveling. So I'll be in Atlanta this whole month of May. Okay. So if you're in Atlanta, if you're an HBCU alum or just fellow entrepreneur, please reach out to me. I would love to network, make some connections. I'm really big on collaboration. Omar, one thing that COVID taught me is that once you remove the limits, there are none, right? And when you realize what that means, you'll push it, you'll try it. So I am traveling, doing a number of things, but still serving. All you need is reliable Wi-Fi and a phone and computer, and here you go, right? Here you go. So I'll be back and forth within the DC and Baltimore area over the next couple of months. So I am looking forward to building community, collaborating, and really seeing how I can create a larger impact.
Okay. All right. So, with 3 minutes left, give out your contact information again, and I'm gonna play this music. I like this beat.
Awesome. Thank you all. So first of all, thank you for the incredible opportunity. But if I have to leave, I guess a final word, right? I would say bet on yourself. Bet on yourself, regardless of what your friends say, your family say, your spouse say, or your children. Bet on yourself. You're always going to be your biggest investment. You can follow me personally on Instagram at Peele the Real Deal. You can follow the radio show at The Real Deal Radio Show. Remember, tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. You can also follow Kingdom Vision Consulting at Kingdom Vision Consult on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook. And our website is kingdomvisionconsult.com. I look forward to serving you guys soon.
Lyndsae Peele, thank you, from Howard University. Thank you for coming on to the HBCU Daily Grind. I'm gonna play this music. There we go. I'm gonna take us out to, don't forget to follow us on Instagram, on social media, y'all. HBCU by Association. And our website is HBCUbyassociation.com. And don't forget, June the 11th, we have a special event. I'm gonna put it on the website, so go there, you'll find out. There's an HBCU token. So we're gonna unveil that on June
June the 11th. I'm thinking about homecoming already. We're going to unveil it on June the 11th. So thank you once again. And until next week, continue to improve.